first time that a hint of this aliveness appeared in the story of my life was in 1981, when I had the privilege to meet for a few days Nisargadatta Maharaj, just 6-7 months before his death. He was still very energetic, but because of the cancer at the throat, he used not many words. He didn't explain very much. He was just saying very direct sentences, pointing directly to the Absolute. And I remember the first day I was sitting in that small room with not more than 15, 20 people. I decided to be in silence and just to listen to what was happening. But Nisargadatta, who in those days liked to stand instead of sitting, went just in front of me and directly asked, do you have any spiritual practice? And what do you do? At that time, I had been doing meditation for about 9-10 years, mostly Vipassana meditation, but with some of experience in Zen, in Dzogchen, and so on. So I tried to describe my practice, saying, I look at things and let them go. And then Nisargadatta said, and when everything is let go, what remains? And I knew the answer because in my Vipassana practice, I get accustomed to understand that all physical, all mental processes just arise and pass away, so they are not really me. I am the witness, I am awareness. That was for me the bottom line of my identity at the time. So I said, everything arises and passes away in the field of awareness. When everything is let go, what remains is awareness itself. But at that time, Nisargadatta put me a question that I never supposed it could be possible to think. Because he asked, and when even awareness is let go, what remains? And of course, I had no answer. So I said, I was very surprised of this question, really. And so I said, I don't know. And at that moment, he was looking directly to my eyes with his eyes that, you know, the eyes of Nisargadatta were very, very full of fire, of passion for truth. And so he said, yes, you don't know. There is the Absolute, where you don't know. And something very strange happened to me, because I felt suddenly pushed back behind awareness and falling down in a bottomless pit of the unknown. And it was a wonderful but terrifying experience. So my body-mind complex just grasped to the surface. And it was strange because in the following few days in Bombay, from time to time in everyday life, maybe sitting in a taxi or drinking a chai, it was happening again, this falling back in the unknown, and then this just going to the surface. I felt that it was a very important experience. That. Then, the last day I was there, Nisargadatta told me the following words. He told me, don't lose yourself in the many branches of the many useless questions of your mind, but go straight to the root. go to the source. And then he said, I throw you there. And then he said, moreover, I bury you there. Very strange. And stay still there until even the seeker dies. Then you will find yourself beyond, in the unknown. I understood his words, but I didn't grasp the deep meaning for a lot of time. Why? Because my mind, in those days, had already begun to build up an interpretation of what was happening. And the interpretation was as follows. Nisargadatta has pointed to me the way to the liberation that at that time for me was a goal to reach. So he's free falling in that bottomless pit. But my ego is too strong, so he tries to go to the surface. And so I have to do more and more meditation in order to melt down my ego. And so I went on doing meditation for other 15 years. I'm very slow to understand things, but when I understand, I understand. So I didn't get the essence of what he said the last day, until the seeker dies, because I went on seeking with this idea that I was separate from liberation. Liberation is over there, somewhere else, and I have to do a path in time in order to approach and reach liberation. This is the essence of duality, because if liberation is a true reality, it is here. If you look God is everywhere, so it must be here now. If you are looking for the whole, if there is the whole, it must comprehend us and here, otherwise it's not the whole. It's the whole, but not with us. If you look for your true self, it could be only where you are, your true self. So that was the play of the seeker. And until the seeker disappears, the play goes on. And when the seeker disappears, not because we have found, but because it's like looking for the darkness with a lamp. And maybe you say, I will switch off the lamp only when I'll find the darkness, of course. But fortunately for us, sooner or later, the batteries just finish. And when it happens, here is the darkness. And so, to conclude, you can see here whatever it is, I have called whatever it is, as objects. You see, you feel your breath, you feel your heart, you hear my voice, and you see all these colors. And while you are doing that, if you just do a little step back, you can sense the sensitive space of awareness where everything appears. It's something very tangible for me. It's the light that makes all those things appear. And if you, not even necessary to step back, if you just let go even this, there is this falling in a bottomless pit. And I think the true meaning of the end of the seeker is that from the point of view of presence that we are, is totally irrelevant whether you are free falling in the bottomless pit of the unknown or if you are trying to grasp the surface. Because when you are in free fall in the unknown, it is presence appearing as free falling. And when you are trying to grasp the surface, it's presence appearing as grasping the surface. I'd like to conclude with, since I've spoken about Nisargadatta, with some sentence of him that I find very, very inspiring. He says, "I do not negate the world. I see it appearing in consciousness, which is the totality of the known in the immensity of the unknown." That's it. Thank you.